Hi, friends. Welcome back to
Wish You Love Podcast.
I'm Marilyn.
And I'm Jazmine.
And thank you so much for clicking on this video. I can't believe we are already at the end of February, but thank you for sticking with us on our bi-weekly episodes. And be sure to follow our Instagram if you haven't already.
Yes. And also, feel free to DM us or click on the link on our bio to submit any questions you might want us to answer or any topics that you'd like us to chat about. We'd love to get that feedback and just interaction with you guys and give you guys what you guys want to listen. So feel free to do so.
Yeah, you know, I listen to a podcast that does things like that, and I never send something in. But please, I know sometimes you're just so used to listening to the podcast, but send it in if you have a story or you need advice or just have questions for us or topics you want us to talk about in the beginning of the episode. We'd love to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we'll jump into wrap up of the month.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it. We're heading into March already. I feel like February flew.
I really liked January, I'm going to be honest. Everyone said that they didn't like it. They said it went by too slow, but I enjoyed January. February was stressful for me. I've been just focusing on like starting, the semester started and lesson planning. So I've been taking a back burner on working out because I was prepping for the semester. I still am technically. But yeah, so that was like my whole February was just prepping for the semester. Not fun.
Yeah. You said classes started already.
Yeah.
Is there one that you're already like, ooh, this is going to be a good one? I know you love all your students.
I have a class at one of the colleges I work for, and I had them last semester, so I really like this class as I'm growing with them. And actually, I have 3 classes like that, but there's this one class in particular where I feel just so close to the students. Like when they see me in the morning, they give me a hug. Like for Valentine's Day, they brought me a rose. They brought me a cupcake. They're just so sweet. So I definitely feel the community and the love within that classroom in particular. But I do love all my classes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. I was just curious because I feel like everyone will always have like
their
favorite student or class or students.
I do.
You know, although the love is spread.
It is spread. And, you know, you can tell when I have a favorite and it's bad, but you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you could tell. But I still try to, like, I won't give, like, let's say I bring pizza for the class. I won't just bring it to that class. I'll have to bring pizza for all 6 classes I have, type of thing. So I don't show favoritism in that way, but just, like, how I interact with them, I guess.
Yeah.
But what about you? That's literally been my February. It's
so
just
February, lesson planning.
On the screen, on my iPad, on the computer. It's so boring. Yeah, not fun.
Well, February for me has been a lot of wedding. Yeah. A lot of wedding. It's getting surreal. Angel just told me the other day, like, we're about to hit exactly 6 months. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Wow. So half a year to just finish prepping and finish feeling confident and doing all the little things. So preparing, yes. So that's been my biggest thing this February. This month we got our attire. So I have my wedding dress. Yay. Angel has his suit. We did our save the dates already. Nice. We were in the process of just getting those either mail out or literally driving to every single person's address and dropping them off. Yeah, we did our photo shoot. We went to Mexico. My grandma lives in Mexico, so it was super special to just have like a small little wedding lunch with her. I wore like a little party veil, like something simple, but just so she could see, I wore white and the veil, just so she could feel and see like the bride in me, and be a part of it. And she loved it. She cried. She made us cry. I know. She was so sweet. She was like, I didn't think I would, get to meet him or get to see this. And I was just like, no, of course. So it's been such a sweet, super fast month, definitely. All things wedding and not stressed, kind of stressed now, but not that much. Yeah. I still feel like I'm at a good level, I guess, of stress. Yeah. But I think now it's just more of the like, go, 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 go. Like my mind is now like, okay, I have to do this and I got to make sure I do that and everything.
Right.
Yeah. But it's all good.
And fun fact, this is kind of like just shows like the small world of it all because we live in the US and both of our families are from Mexico, and her man's family and her family are from the same small town in Mexico. If you didn't know, Mexico is a pretty big country with a lot of different small towns. So like the odds of being from the same one is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so special, you guys. I will share a little piece about the photo shoot and just how meaningful it was. When Angel and I were deciding about doing like our engagement photo shoot, these are the photos we're going to put like on our website, on our invites, on even at the wedding. Like we're already like kind of planning like where we can place them. I was like, hey, like how cool would it be if we take it in the same small town that our families are from, because we're already going to be out in Mexico anyways. So it's like, why not like just go? And Angel hadn't gone in like years. He hadn't been there since he was 8. So we're talking like over, I think almost like 20 years that he hasn't been to Mexico, and especially that small little town. So he was like, you know what? Okay, like, let's do it. Like, I'm down. And I was like, okay, cool. So then we're like trying to find a photographer. We get there. We literally fly in Tuesday and then we leave. So we fly out Tuesday night. We get to Mexico Wednesday morning at like 6. Then we have to drive to the little town because from the main city to the little town is about like 2 hours. So we drove to the small town, and literally once it was there, I felt like, I don't know, something in me, like I felt it. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm here and I'm with the person I'm going to marry. Like, oh my gosh, like this is like so surreal and like so special. And I was just like kind of, my parents go often. So they were like Angel's tour guides-ish. Yeah. Like they were like, oh, like, okay, we're going to go try this food spot now. My mom was sharing, like, she was like, oh, like these are the tacos my dad used to take me when I was little. Like we would come here all the time. And so we were just kind of taking him to all these little spots. So he was getting familiar. And then when we did our photo shoot, it was all the, I guess, the landmarks or the things that make that city the city. Like if you're from there, you'll know because you'll see it. And so when we were doing that, like it just felt so special because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the same church like our grandparents probably came to or like would come every Sunday to. And then like when we had the tacos, I was like, oh my gosh, like to think my grandpa used to come here because this is his favorite spot and he would bring my mom when she was little. So it was really, really special, you guys. And even Angel, he was like, wow, like these are the streets that like our families used to walk on, you know, like it just felt like so like we felt so connected to the photo shoot and to like the town and like just to be there together and like take it all in. So it was definitely such a beautiful, beautiful moment, like such a highlight for me this month. Like I love those photos. I would like cherish that day. Like I hope that we can go back again.
Maybe bring your kids.
Yeah, just so that they can feel it and see it. But it's such a beautiful place, and yeah, I can't wait to share the photos and everything because it's
gonna be beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah, and so meaningful. Like I love it. Yeah,
very nice. I love that you felt so safe to go to Mexico too. We were talking about this over brunch yesterday. And I was talking to my boyfriend after because he was like, oh, how was it? And I was telling him about your guys' like photo shoot because me and my boyfriend are actually from the same small town in Mexico too, which are crazy odds like that we share with our couples, our two relationships. But we do not feel safe going to Mexico. And he even has like a home in Rosarito, but like we don't want to go at all. Yeah. And I wish I felt like how you feel of like safe and like able to do that because that's such a beautiful thing to be able to go and see, like you said, the streets that your family would walk in, the houses that your family once lived in or does live in and stuff like that. Like I was telling him, like, I wish I could see, because my mom grew up part of her life in that small town in Mexico too. And she would tell me stories about it because our family had a tortilla factory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she would work in the factory. Yeah. And she talks about the plaza and stuff like that. And I'm like, I have it all in my head. And the house, they still own the house out there and the spiral staircase. And like she said that there's like this opening, kind of like a little bit like a sala, but it's outdoors, indoors, where like when it rains, you can sit indoor, but the rain is falling.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah. And so I wish I could see all this stuff from all the stories, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
But I think it's so beautiful that you guys had that experience. Like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, I think it is a blessing. We talked about this over brunch yesterday. It's unfortunately can be not the safest place to go visit due to just things that are occurring there and politics and whatever that might be. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but I do understand it's not unfortunately somewhere like the US that you can go. Although we did also say anything can happen anywhere, right? So it's not true. But it is different because it's a different country, different laws, different, rules and whatnot.
And even native language, right?
Yeah. But I will say it was beautiful, and I don't take it for granted because you're right. It is a blessing, and
to feel safe and
thankfully, I give props to my parents because it's like they know what to say, what to do, and how to move. Yeah, and that's what made it
They're
safe.
Smart about it.
Yeah, they knew how to secure and make sure we were okay. Yeah, we were all okay.
Very good. Yeah. I also found my friend sent me a reel of this woman. I'll put her at here if you're watching on YouTube, but she's a Bolivian American woman like me. So my dad was born in Bolivia. My mom is from Mexico. And so I felt the same way when I watched, she did a whole kind of movie. It's like a small film that she put on YouTube. I'll put actually the link below, but she did a video of her trip going to Bolivia and her perspective as a Bolivian American of not feeling Bolivian enough, but then reminding herself that she is Bolivian and that is in her ancestry and her blood and stuff like that. And her Bolivian lineage just looks different now because of her life here in America. There's reasons why. And she visited her grandma and she spoke Quechua. Remember how I told you? I'm so the grandma spoke Quechua and it was a really nice video.
Oh,
but I felt the same way watching her go to Bolivia. And my grandparents still go to Bolivia, but I don't feel safe going to Bolivia. And one day, because I've already been to Mexico, not our small town, but so Mexico's kind of off my checklist. I'm I went. I'm good.
Yeah.
But Bolivia is somewhere that I'm I'm going to go before I die. I want to go, especially to buy clothes for my children just so because we have some, but I want their own,
Yeah.
And so I really want to go one day, but I am very scared. But I hope to go with my brother. Anthony doesn't want to go. He's forget that. I'm good. He's what do they do out there? I don't know. It's scary, but yeah. If you're from Bolivia or Mexico, let us know in the comments down below. But it's so important to feel connected and be connected to where your parents and your grandparents and your whole family lineage came from.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree with that statement. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do some research. If you can't physically go there, definitely try to incorporate it into your life and just little ways. We're starting with our wedding, but I think that's perfect because it'll continue towards the marriage, right, that we have. But yeah, I love that. Even if it's just YouTube videos and watching them. Yeah,
exactly.
Stay connected.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, so Jazmine. Oh, also one more thing. I joined the chorus at my church. Remember how I told you guys I was going to audition? I'm in the chorus now. So yeah, very happy about that, and it's going great. If I have any video of it, I'll put it here on YouTube. But yeah, so I'm very excited about it, and it's very fulfilling, and maybe I'll talk about it more later as I get more experience and stuff like that. But I'm still going to audition for the worship team, which is what I told you guys I originally wanted. But something that I did learn, and maybe I could talk about this in a whole other episode, is humility and to be humble, because I had said on the podcast that I was I never wanted to do the chorus. I want to do the worship team. And I kind of felt I've done it before. In that, I didn't realize when being there and talking to the pastor's wife, I'm there's still so much for me to learn.
Yeah.
And I can always grow and use this time to worship God and as well grow in my ability to sing and harmonize with other people. And to remember that it's coming. You'll be able to do what you originally wanted to do, but this is still like a really good thing to be a part of. So I'm very happy to be part of the choir.
I love that. Yes, I'm glad you remembered to share that because I know that was such a
I was talking
big
about it.
thing. Yeah.
It was like in the back of my head for so long. And
Oh, well, make sure you guys wish some congratulations to Marilyn. And definitely keep us posted on that next chapter in life.
Yeah, I definitely will. All the ladies around me because I'm in the sopranos. So, there's the sopranos, the altos, the tenors, and the basses. And they kind of group together because you have to practice with each other. And it's a really nice community of women.
Love that. Yeah.
But okay, so Jazmine has a message for us, and I'm so excited to hear it because it is from the new Disney movie, Mufasa. Go ahead, Jazmine.
Yes. Alrighty, guys. So today we're going to talk about Mufasa, and there's just a really powerful message that I took from that movie, and I remember writing it down. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm checking my notes because I wrote it down because I was like, okay, this is something I really, really want to talk about, and it was just such a good movie, you guys. Like, if you have not watched it already, please make sure you go watch it. Hopefully it's on Disney Plus. We'll check maybe after to see if it is, but it's definitely, I feel like Disney movies always give like powerful message, and they're always a really, really good movies. Like, Disney's top tier with like their movies. But I will say this is, I think, one of the first Disney movies in a while that I left the theaters wanting to come back and watch it again. And I'm not that type of girl. I don't really watch movies. I don't really go to the movies. But this was the first time I was like, oh my gosh, Angel, like, we have to watch it again. Like, let's come back, or like as soon as it goes on Disney Plus, like, let's watch it again. But try not to do too much spoilers. So hopefully those of you that are listening have watched it by now, or if you haven't, maybe put pause on the podcast, go watch it, and then come back. But I wanted to talk about the movie. So with the movie Mufasa, this key theme came up to me, and it was, in order to be something, you must act like it first. Lead before being a leader. Act before receiving a title. So in this movie, we are learning about Mufasa's upcoming and how he was raised, and like what happened in his childhood, and how he became then king of Pride Rock and everyone. And we also learn about Scar's upbringing and how he became the villain that he is, as you guys know, in The Lion King. And so it's really interesting because, again, like, lots of messages that you can like take from and like learn from the movie. I know one of them, like, Angel and I were like, oh my gosh, like, this goes to show it really does, your childhood does matter. Like, it really does. Like, the things that happen and how you're raised truly do dictate the person you end up becoming as you grow up, as you become an adult, and the way you think and see things. And so in this movie, we learn about both of them and how they become and why they are the way they are, one being a villain and the other one being a king. And so specifically with Mufasa here, he did not come from a royal family. So, small spoiler alert, he was not a generational king. It's not like his dad was a king and he passed it on and it kept getting passed on. He was actually an orphan at one point and was then adopted by Scar's family. And another mini spoiler here, Scar was actually supposed to be the one that was supposed to be king, because he did come from a generational family of royalty. And so his dad was a king. And so it was going to be passed off, or meant to be passed off then to him. So these two boys, these two young little lion cubs, right? One being an orphan, not coming from a title, not coming from a lineage of royalty. Then you have another one who is spoiled and comes from exactly that. He is meant to be the next in line to be king. However, throughout the movie, you then see that although Mufasa did not have the title, I guess, kind of the respect of like leadership and like to be a king, the whole movie acted like a king though. Like throughout the whole movie, like the decisions he made, the words he would say, the actions he played in certain parts of the movie, they really demonstrated like what it means to be a king and how to lead people, right? How to lead a group of people, how to bring unity, how to bring respect and care towards, others. And he really, really portrayed that throughout the whole movie. Versus you have Scar, who didn't do that, even though he had the title and was supposed to be next in line to be king. Another mini spoiler, there was a point where he had to save someone and he was a coward and he felt scared and did not want to save that person. And he ran away instead. Which again, that does not show leadership or what it means to be a king or how to protect those around you. And so anyways, this whole movie, you just kind of learn more and more and more about them and how, you have one who goes the easy coward way out where they just want to be in the background, but they want the title. And they like to say that they're the king or listen to me. And then you have another one who, again, doesn't come from anything, but he's taking on the action and the leadership and everything. And in the end, as you guys know, Mufasa becomes king. Scar does not become king. He is outcasted and just the villain at that point. But it was so, I loved seeing how each scene they showed more and more why Mufasa was so deserving of that title and why Scar, unfortunately, was not. And so it really made me think of that. It made me think wow, he was nobody. So he didn't have to act like that, right? He could have just been in the back on the burner, been the coward, been the one to be it's not my business. It's not my responsibility. I'm just here to do what Scar says or be kind of his right man and let him lead. But he stepped up to the plate and he, in fact, did more than what what his brother was supposed to do and demonstrated these qualities and characteristics and really just showed that he was acting like a king before he even knew he had the title or he was going to receive the title. He was leading without even being a leader. And so that just goes to show, and again, maybe, I don't know, I just left the movie theater really impacted. And so hopefully this all makes sense and you guys are understanding where the message and where this is coming from. But that's just the main message here that I wanted to share. I think we as human beings, sometimes we think, I know I'm guilty. I can say I'm one of them where we don't feel we're good enough or we don't feel we have that title. So what is the point of acting the part or doing the things because we're not there yet, right? If you guys go back to last season's, I believe, episode, don't quote me on which one, but there's something that we briefly kind of talked about this topic as well once. And I will always remember, Marilyn, you said that you dress as a professor before you even became a professor, or
I felt like one.
You wanted to feel this is how I'm representing myself when I come to campus, even though maybe you didn't have the title yet, or maybe you were just starting, but you wanted to act like it, even though you weren't it first. And so I think that's how we should be with everything in life, right? Like I said, I'm guilty where sometimes I think I'm just not good enough to wear this dress. I just don't feel like I'm going to rock it. But I think before we can even deal with in my case, the weight loss or everything, maybe I should work on just my confidence first and just make myself confident to know this is where I'm at now. Let me rock it. And when I get to where I want to be, I'll rock it even better because I'm there already, but at least the confidence part. Or maybe, with work, right? With work too. Hey, I'm not a manager right now, but if I can take on leadership projects or if I can lead my peers, that's one way where I can show that that's the direction I want to be. And that's, the way I can act now before I even get there and demonstrate that. So really just taking the time to think about everything that's happening in our lives right now, everything that every direction or title or opportunity that we want in life, to really think about what are they and how can I start acting and playing the part, even though maybe I'm not there yet, even though maybe I haven't gotten the title yet of being a manager at work, or maybe I haven't gotten the title of being a graduate yet. I'm still an undergraduate student and I still have one more semester left of school, but let me start acting as if I'm a graduate and I'm like succeeding in that and I'm getting good grades, and because that's the type of graduate I want to be. I want to end up in this way, and let me start acting like it now. So really just taking the time to do that and implementing that in our lives, I think is something that I really took from this movie. Like, it really made me like realize, like, dang, like I got to start playing my parts and not wishing or just being a coward in the back and wanting to still get it without necessarily doing anything about it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my little message for today.
I loved everything you said, Jazmine, and it made me think maybe you aren't anointed, but you are appointed, meaning that maybe like you weren't meant to be king, but now because of who you are and who you've shown to be, you are appointed to be king. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like we feel like we're stuck in this rut or space that we can only be so much because maybe your parents or maybe people have told you can only be so much, but that's not true. You know, whatever you want to do, you just have to kind of like you said, of just believe it first before it happens. Because if you don't believe in it, then how is it going to happen? And yeah, what you said of me dressing like a professor before I even felt like one and before I was one, it was from this quote that Anthony's mom had told me years prior. Because at that time I was working in LAUSD, so it was like a school district for elementary and middle school and high school, big district, so I don't mind saying it. But I would just wear like, because I was a cheer coach, so I would just wear like yoga pants, like comfortable clothes, right? And his mom told me, don't dress for the job you have, but dress for the job you want. And so kind of like after she had told me that, it took time, like it took years for me to do it. But once I got hired at the college and I wasn't a professor yet, I was just a tutor, I dressed as how I do now as a professor. I always like pinned back my hair. I always wore slacks, always wore work clothes. And it's funny because when the semester had started this past month, I felt weird putting on my professor clothes because I felt like I was wearing a costume because I hadn't worn it in like almost 2 months. And so putting it on, I kind of felt like, you know, in Halloween when you try on a costume and then you're like, oh wow, I'm Batman now. Yeah. And I felt like that. I'm like, oh, I'm Professor Paiva now and I'm not Marilyn. Yeah. And it was kind of funny because I felt like weird wearing them, but now I'm getting used to wearing them again. But it is interesting, the power of like, you know, the power of wearing makeup sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes like you can really just not want to take a picture and feel ugly as a woman. Sadly, like we go through those days, but like you put on some blush, you put on a fake eyelash, like it changes your whole mood and how you see yourself. And that's why I think makeup is so important, because it can do so much for a woman. And yeah, men like to say, oh, but it's better to be natural and all that stuff. Like you don't go through what women go through. So let us have our mascara. Like, please, it's not the worst thing in the world, you know, but I love what you were saying. And it makes me think of, where can I apply this in my life? And I hope you listeners are thinking too, and thinking of like, how do I want the world to perceive me? Or what do I want to be like or accomplish? And how can I become that?
Yeah, I was even thinking right now when you were talking, I was like, if you guys remember our episodes, Marilyn and I picked two quotes or phrases that we wanted to kind of let it be the theme of the year.
Oh, that's right.
And I just like, oh my gosh, like it just clicked right now. I was like, my theme of the year was my face, right?
Oh, yeah,
what is the face that I want to show up for the world? Like,
That's
who do I
right.
want? Like, when they see me and they see my face, what do I want them to think like? And so I think it can kind of, again, piece together and come together of like, okay, if I want them to think, if I want to be a manager at work at one point and take leadership, and I want them to, that's the face I want them to see. Like, I want them when they think that next position that opens up, like, we need a lead for this department.
Yeah.
I think Jazmine would be a good fit. Then it's like, how can I play that part now?
Right.
So that they can think that when they see my face and they hear the word leadership. When I go to the gym and I want to feel confident and feel like I'm on the right track to where I need to be, what is the face that I want people to see? And how can I start acting like that when I show up and I, you know, go on a treadmill or start my workout on the Stairmaster?
Everything's a mental game. Everything in life is a mental game. And like when you were saying that about the gym, I actually do something different, but it's the same thing of like getting there mentally that I'm going to accomplish this at the gym today. So you were saying like making sure you look right and maybe like a cute pink workout set or something like that, you know? But actually I dress like a bum to the gym. Like I wear like boy clothes and just because I'm like, oh, this is my gym clothes. I can sweat and who cares like if this gets faded or that's just my idea. I should get cute ones because like I go so much. I should invest in like cute workout clothes. But my thing to get myself in that headspace is my music. So I put like a playlist together before I leave for the gym. Like it's the same playlist, but how I'm feeling, I'm like, okay, let's move the slower songs to the top because that's when that's when I'm walking in to scan in. That's when I'm like cleaning off the treadmill and stuff like that. Like I'm already preparing because I don't want to just start the song and then start it. Like, no, I'm trying to prepare myself beforehand, like get myself in the mood, like pump, like I want to run type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I love it because like you said, like you guys said, you're not saying anything, but you guys, if you're not very like visual, like Jazmine's like put on a good fit, you're like, that doesn't work for me. I still go to the gym and I don't like, I wear cute clothes and I still don't feel motivated. Maybe try music. There is so many things you can do. Like maybe try music or even some people, like I know some women will wear mascara at the gym because when they go home, they don't want to look like crazy. And so like anything, little thing that helps you become seeing yourself as a runner, seeing yourself as somebody who's fit, somebody that's healthy, it's very much possible. It's just how you view yourself.
And how you want to act and make yourself feel. Yeah. Exactly. Whether that's physically with an item of shoes or mascara at the gym or music. So for sure. But yeah, it's a super good movie. Like I said, 10 out of 10 recommend. Love it. I'm sure I can probably, when I rewatch it again, find new themes or new things that I want to like share and talk about. But that was just the main one. And like I said, it's so beautiful to see how Mufasa deserved that title of being the king and how he represented that and every day and any way he could, everywhere he went, like he represented that despite being an orphan and despite not coming from lineage. Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, correct me.
I'm sorry.
Despite not coming from lineage, like he deserved that title and like truly did act. He earned it.
Yeah,
he acted like that. He did everything he could to lead and that's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like you had mentioned for work. So like right now I'm doing that for like a full-time position, but I have already thought ahead and thought of like, well, when I'm full-time, I want to show them, like right now I'm trying to show I'm worthy of full-time, but when I'm full-time, I want to show them I'm worthy of being a dean. So like I constantly kind of like, it's important to be happy where you're at, but it is also really good too if you're trying to go towards something to like kind of prepare yourself as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with, being in your position, but wanting to show them that, hey, I can be in a higher position. You're still happy you're in your position.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But thank you for this message. This was so nice. I love just listening to you.
Oh,
yeah, it was a really good message.
Yeah. Yeah. So please comment below if you've watched Mufasa or are going to watch Mufasa. Maybe throw a lion emoji or something.
Yeah, lion or paw emoji.
Yeah. Super good. Let me know if you guys, kind of get that message as well when you watch it. And yeah, let's leave with that message. Let's act like a leader before even becoming one.
I love that.
So
act like a leader before you even become one.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And above all else,
we wish you love. Bye, friends.